Hello everyone, welcome back to ParsecGames, and you're watching episode 8 of my Five Nights at Freddy's Scratch tutorial series. And in today's video we're gonna learn how to program Foxy's AI, which is the simplest of the 4 animatronic AI, so that we're gonna do that one first, and then we're gonna move on to Bonnie, then Chica, and then finally Freddy. And before we get started, I just want to say that I got most of the information about how the AI works from a YouTube channel called Take Rules. He did a 22-minute video about the AI in Five Nights at Freddy's, explaining not only Foxy but the AI in general, so all the animatronics. And I think he did a pretty good job summing it up, and I used the information from his video for us to program the AI as accurately as possible. So if you want to, you can check out his channel and the video as well. The link will be in the description, and the video is pretty good, so I suggest you watch it. Now let's get started with the project, and let's start it first of all, and let's look inside. And now what we're gonna do is, first of all, we're just gonna add a new sprite in general, and we're gonna call this general AI. And this is gonna be our sprite that controls all the AI that you know concerns every animatronic. And we're gonna add a new variable called Bonnie AI, and then Chica AI, Freddy AI, and Foxy AI. Because the way the AI actually works in Five Nights at Freddy's is that at the start of every night, the AI for every animatronic is set to a certain value, and then at certain times throughout the night it actually increases. So that's why, for example, in the first night they all start at 0, so for the first 2 hours nothing happens really. But then at 2 AM, for example, Bonnie's AI increases by 1, so that's when he starts moving. And you know, so we're just gonna do it exactly like they did in the real game, or like Scott Cawthon did in the real game. So we're gonna go to events, and when the flag is pressed, we're gonna set the AI to 0. So we're just gonna set every AI, Bonnie's, Chica's, Freddy's, and Foxy's AI all to 0. And then when I receive start game, and we're just gonna do it for the first night right now, if the night equals 1, where is the current night? The current night equals 1, set, and then we can basically just copy this because in the first night they're all like this. And then we need to add, so this is basically what happens at the start of the night, and then we need to wait until the time is 2 AM, because at that time Bonnie's AI increases by 1. Then at 3 AM Bonnie's increases again by 1, but also Chica's increases, and also Foxy's as well, so those 3 become more intelligent, so to speak. And then at 4 AM the same thing happens again, the 3 of them get more intelligent. And Freddy works in a different way, but we're not gonna concern ourselves with this right now. We're just gonna work on that in the video about Freddy's AI. Right now we're just concerned with Foxy, but we can already add at least the AI level for Bonnie and Chica as well, because then we won't have to do it in that episode. Okay, so on night 1 they all start out with 0, and on night 2 we're just gonna add all the nights, so to speak, so every night has a different starting value for each animatronic. Night 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're gonna 6 and 7 are a different story, so to speak. So on night 2, Bonnie starts at 3, Chica at 1, Foxy also at 1, and Freddy is still at 0 because he's not active in that night. On night 3, Freddy starts at 1, Chica starts at 5, Bonnie is actually at 0, and Foxy is at 2. On night 4, Bonnie starts at 2, Chica at 4, Foxy at 6, and Freddy's AI is actually randomized between 1 and 2, like this. If you're lucky or not, he's either going to be very active or not very active, but kind of active at the beginning, or a little bit more active. You just never know. And on night 5, Freddy starts at 3, Bonnie at 5, Chica at 7, and Foxy also at 5. Okay, now we've got all the night starting AI levels. So now what we're going to do is actually make a sprite specifically for Foxy's AI. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to make a new list called animatronics. And we're just going to do it the same order we did here. So we're just going to add in, go back to the general AI actually. We're going to first of all delete everything from that list and then add minus 4 times, but to animatronics. Wait. So now we have these like this. And now you can imagine that the first one corresponds with Bonnie, second one with Chica, third one with Freddy, and fourth one with Foxy. And this list is gonna just store where they are. So obviously at the beginning of the night, Freddy, Foxy, and Chica are all at the show stage. So at the start of the night, right after we set the AI levels, we're gonna replace item 1 of animatronics, which is Bonnie, with 1A. And we're also going to replace obviously item 2, which is Chica, and item 3, which is Freddy. So they're all at 1A. And Foxy obviously starts at Pirate Cove, which is number 3. I just want to add a quick fix. I actually mistook his cam. He's not in 3 at the beginning. He's at 1C. That's Pirate Cove. So make sure you change this. I just noticed this, and this is me from the future actually. I just noticed this a bit later. Just adding this in here. So now they're all in the starting positions, and because right now we're set to night 3, their AI levels have changed to this, so we can see it works. But if we press new game, obviously the AI levels will go to 0 because it starts on night 1. So let's just wait for that. So now they're all at 0, the AI level, so they're not moving obviously. I mean, we haven't programmed them yet, but even if we had, they wouldn't be moving because they're all at 0. And now just for a test, we're gonna change the time by 1, and then again by 1. And as you can see, Bonnie's AI has increased by 2. Now again, they've increased again. And that's it. Okay. So we just tested this and it works, which is good. And now let's get to actually programming Foxy, which the way it works is that basically every 5 seconds, Foxy has a movement opportunity, which is that he takes a random chance, and this chance depends on his AI level. So obviously if it's lower, the chance that he will actually move is also decreased. And the higher his AI level gets, the more likely he is to move. And that's what we're gonna program first. So we're gonna just add in when I receive start game. We're gonna make a new variable called Foxy counter, which is just gonna count up our time. And we're just gonna add in a forever loop. Wait until, and we're gonna add a new variable as well, which is Foxy locked. And basically what Foxy locked means is he's kind of locked. If you've played the game, you know that if you look at his camera, he will sort of lock and won't move because he doesn't like being watched. And then while you're looking at him, he's locked. And for a little longer, which is a random amount between 3 and 16 seconds, he will stay locked. And then when he's not locked anymore, his counter will start counting up, and he will be able to move, basically. So wait until Foxy locked is 0, so he's not locked anymore. So what we're gonna add in is wait until Foxy is locked 0 and his timer is 5. Foxy counter. So this means if he's not locked right now, and he hasn't been locked for 5 seconds, then he's gonna have a movement opportunity. And the way this is gonna work is with an if-then clause. So what we're gonna do is add a new variable called Foxy random, and we're gonna set this to a random number between 0 and 20, using the pick random from 0 to 20. Okay, And now if his AI level is higher than Foxy random, Foxy AI, that means he will move. And if not, he won't move. But we can't only use higher, we also need to use equal. So if it's higher or equal than the random number, he will move. So what we're going to do is just add in an or and use equal instead of higher than. Meaning now, if his AI is higher or equal to the randomly picked number, he will move. And if not, he won't. So obviously if his AI is 20 and Foxy random can only be at maximum 20, he will always move. So just as a test, we're going to set the Foxy AI to 20. And now we obviously need to use this part of the script as well. And now let's set it to a random number. And as you can see, it will always be true. Even if the randomly picked number is 20, it's still true. And what you need to remember is that we actually need to pick a random number from 1 to 20. Because if his AI level is 0, he is not allowed to move at all. So basically, if Foxy's AI is at 0, and now if Foxy's AI would be able to come out as 0, he would actually move. So we need to set the pick random to a random amount between 1 and 20, so that he will not move, even if 1 comes out, if his AI level is 0. Does this make sense? I hope. So let's just add that in here. And now, if this is the case, he will move, and if not, he won't. So what we're gonna add now is actually make him notice if the camera's on him, and also in that case stop counting. So we're just gonna add another when I receive game forever loop, and we're gonna add in change, where is it, Foxy counter by 0.1 every 0.1 seconds. So this is pretty much just a second counter, counting up the seconds. And then when I receive start game, also forever wait until the camera is up. Where do we have it? Camera up is true, and camera menu select is 3 because that's the room he's in. So this means basically if you're looking at him right now, then he will become locked. So we'll set Foxy locked to 1. And then we need to wait until he's no longer being looked at. So this is no longer the case, not. Then he waits a random amount between 3 and 16 seconds before he becomes unlocked. So now what this does basically is, in the beginning, we're gonna set locked to 0, obviously at the start of the game. And you need to put this in here, by the way, inside of the forever loop. So he's not locked, then he waits until you look at the camera, then he becomes locked. And he stays locked until you're not looking at the camera, and then another 3 to 16 seconds have passed, and then he becomes unlocked. And while he's locked, this part can't happen. And just to make sure, we're gonna add another and. Foxy locked is 0 in here, just to make sure that he won't move. Even if, for example, the wait until here has been fulfilled, so he's not locked anymore, but he becomes locked right after this part here, he would still be able to move, but we're just gonna add this in here just for safety reasons. We're gonna set the Foxy counter to 0. Also add that in here. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to change this from equals to greater than 5. And then as soon as this happens, the Foxy counter is going to be reset to 0. And now we can just test this by running this script first and then this one. And now when it gets to 5, it's going to pick a random number. And then the Foxy counter restarts. Yep, so that works. And now in case of moving, we need to add a new variable called Foxy status. And obviously in the beginning of the night, he starts at status 0. And this is basically his, you know, in Pirate Cove, Foxy sort of at status 0, he's behind the curtains. On status 1, he starts peeking out of the curtain. Status 2, he's already kind of getting out. So now we're going to look into Foxy's sprite. And obviously we have the costumes here. So this is basically phase 0, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And this is a random thing. This can happen sometimes, but basically there's 3 phases. So in the case that he's going to move, we just increase Foxy's status by 1. And now let's go back to cam 1C, which is Foxy's cam. And we're going to switch to the costume. We actually use this variable here, which we can just set to Foxy status plus 1. So set Pirate Cove to Foxy status plus 1. Because if his status is 0, this is going to be 1 obviously, which means he's on costume number 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And just put that in here. Okay, so now we're just gonna test this by starting the game. We're gonna hide all these variables that we actually don't really need. And we're only gonna show the Foxy counter variable and the Foxy locked variable. So now, first of all, we're gonna look at his camera. And now he's obviously locked, so he can't move. And just for clarity's sake, we're gonna add in that if Foxy is locked, then we're gonna set the Foxy counter to 0, just so we don't get confused. So if he's locked, it's always at 0. Now he's gonna stay locked for a couple of seconds. There's a random amount between 3 and 16, so it's gonna probably take a bit. And now he's unlocked, and the counter is going up again. And now we're also gonna show the Foxy status variable, and we're gonna set Foxy's AI to 20 just to test that he moves. So Foxy AI 20. Now he's definitely gonna move as soon as he's not locked anymore. So right now he's locked, but we just wait a bit, then he becomes unlocked, and then he's definitely gonna move after 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5. So now he's moved, as you can see, so that works perfectly. Now he's locked again. If we lower our camera, he's gonna stay locked for a random number between 3 and 16 seconds, and then he's gonna move again, probably. Actually, definitely, because he's on level 20 right now, so he will definitely move. Okay, so that was the first part of Foxy's AI. Make sure to come back next week when we'll learn how to make him run down the hallway and then jump scare you. And then the videos following that one will obviously be Bonnie's AI, Chica's AI, and Freddy's AI. And then we'll be done with our game, and you will have a full Five Nights at Freddy's game on Scratch. But first, make sure to come back next week for Foxy's AI Part 2.